Hello and welcome to Is There Something in This, the podcast where Scott Dooley, that's me, and Jason Chatfield will come up. Every time I listen back to a podcast for the first time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Look at you growing as a person.
The only reason is because Ashika has listened.
Oh.
And she said, and I quote, it's actually pretty good.
Do you know what? That's the highest praise you're going to get from any kind of partner.
Yeah.
My wife hasn't listened to one episode.
Well,
not one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not far ahead of it.
She's happy that I have something to keep me busy on a Sunday. That's the extent of the joy that she has.
Ashika said, what time are you and Jason going to start yelling at each other?
That's great. And isn't it accurate?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I listened to the intro.
Yeah.
And I was like, there is no evidence this person knows what they're doing.
Not at all. Not one bit.
And I feel like I'm undermining the confidence of the audience immediately.
Yes.
If I was a plane captain and you heard me go, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the...
what is this?
There's a lot of buttons. You'd ring the call bell. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
I'd like to get off, please.
Yeah. Can you open the doors, please?
Yeah.
I'd like to slide down the.
Yeah.
That inflatable slide.
Keep my bag that I checked. Keep it. That's fine.
I don't care. Set fire to it if you need to.
You've got bigger fish to fry than that bag. I'm going to be honest with you. But I do know what we do know what we're doing. Is what I'm trying to say. Is don't let this intro put you off.
Do we? This is honestly, it's become my favourite part of the week because I never know where it's going to go off the rails.
Pretty early this week.
Pretty early. This is pretty early for an episode.
I got our names out and then just
You
bailed.
did. We didn't even finish the sentence of, it's the podcast where, did you notice that?
Yeah.
If you want the end of that sentence, this is the podcast where we come up with cartoons for the New Yorker
Whoa,
each
you're
week.
doing my bit now?
I've already usurped you. This is the usurper podcast.
This is a bloodless coup.
I don't know about that.
Well, I am bleeding heavily, but that's from something earlier. That has nothing to do with that.
Bleeding from your whatever.
Yeah, so we come up with cartoons for the New Yorker, and we thought that it might be interesting for you to hear how we do this.
Yes.
But you probably knew this 12 weeks ago when we started.
Yes.
But I think we're now at the point where people just start now.
I think so.
If you're hearing about the podcast now,
Yeah.
you're just starting to listen now.
Sure.
You're not going back to one to go... Mm-hmm. None of this is canon.
No.
Like, there's nothing.
Oh, God, this isn't like Seinfeld. There isn't a thread. There isn't a super objective of any kind.
Yeah.
Although I must say, next week, the New Yorker aren't buying cartoons, so we are going to take a small hiatus.
Oh, are we?
Well, just a 1 week.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless you want to do a mini-pod again. That was fun.
Yeah, we just do submissions.
Maybe we'll do a mini-pod that week.
So if you've got submissions, there's a really good chance they'll get read out.
Yeah, for sure. Just so anyone who's just tuning in now, they can go back and listen if they miss us for a week and have nothing to listen to. We've got 11 other episodes.
Look at us now. We're now just
So
telling you
arrogant.
how to spend.
Are we
Listen, I
arrogant?
know you're probably going to want to kill yourself because this podcast doesn't come out, but don't kill yourself. We have a solution. We think we have a solution.
The idea that this is the only podcast they subscribe to. You don't have 45 Pete Holmes to listen to. Okay, great.
So how did we go last week with
We
our
went great.
things? Oh, did we go?
We went great. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all right.
We sold, my friend.
Oh, excellent.
We did.
To the New Yorker
To the New Yorker magazine.
The New Yorker. Good for them.
Good for them. That's the wrong.
Proud of them.
Okay. Well, yeah. As you would have heard us maybe come up with this one, I suppose.
Which one?
Which one was it? It was the
the weather.
Yeah, the complaining about the heat at some kind of deity flicking a switch or pushing. I ended up drawing it as him pushing a lever.
Yeah, and it's way better. It's like
an ancient
it's
Greek
like a
god.
Greek god
Yeah.
with a huge kind of
Ornate. I would call it a lever, a cog.
It's like a big.
What do you call that?
It's a lever. Yeah,
Yeah, a
and
lever.
But it's the kind of thing that you see like. We need more people to pull it to stop the train from moving, kind of.
I think that's
it's
where
like
I got
a brake. It's like an industrial brake
train
from a
track.
steam engine, it seems.
Yeah. You know when they change the train track for it to go divergent?
That's what it is. Yeah,
I
that's
think
what it
that's
looks
where
like.
I got the idea. So it's him pulling one of those levers, and it's on the left. It's complaining.
As you can see, we've put a lot of thought into this. We're now discussing it after it's sold. Like, what should it be?
Yeah, what should it be?
What would you call that
I
thing?
literally, so I got the email saying, hey, we'd like to buy this. I was like, oh, that's great, good news. And I was sitting around on set on that NBC show.
You're doing an NBC show.
And I sat in the... There's a lot of waiting around.
Can you tell us what it's called?
I can't.
Oh, okay.
As soon as it goes out, believe me, it's all I'll talk about. But right now, I can't say anything. All I can say is...
Is it called Jurassic World, the musical?
How did you know? You've
like
already breached the
You
NDA.
and Wayne Brady.
I saw, by the way, just slight digression, I saw very romantic. I took Sophie for her birthday last night to see Jurassic Park, the Lost Fallen Kingdom or whatever it is.
Lost World.
No, what's it called? It's called Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom. It's the newest one.
Sounds like you went to a bootleg. You went to
Chinatown.
Were you in a bloke's house watching a DVD from Bali?
Yeah.
That's not the movie.
It had fake subtitles on the bottom in black. Yeah, but
Newman was in it.
Everything was in Cantonese, but boy, even the raw.
People walking in the theater.
Yeah, have you had those?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that was my whole childhood. Was Bangkok tapes. So sorry, what a digression. So in the green. There's a lot of waiting around in TV for resetting and waiting for the next thing. So it was just me sitting there drawing this cartoon, and of course, because there was so much time, it's got way more detail than it needs.
Oh, great!
So it's actually quite ornate.
Oh, excellent!
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I can't wait for you guys to see that one.
Now, I don't know what to ask about, because last week you told us that you were doing a television show, but you can't talk about that really.
Not a lot of
it,
no.
But the thing that I was very interested in was that you took your wife, Sophie, to Atlantic City. And when I say you took her there, it was her birthday, and she planned an entire trip. And then... when you came in today, because you sent out, you can see it online, Jason sent a series of you will not believe where we are, cartoons of just terrible things that you'd seen. It's it was like when, do you know what it was like?
What?
It was like when someone has a near-death experience and they think they're in hell.
Yes.
And then they describe it to a police sketch artist.
Vividly, yeah.
And it's like that real kind of fever dream.
Totally.
But then, so I was teasing you last week about how, oh God, Sophie's so lucky. She gets to plan her weekend away and
Put it
everything.
on the card,
and then, exactly. And then when you came in, I said, Atlantic City looked like fun. And you said, it was free anyway. So you didn't even pay.
It was
you didn't
free.
even pay.
It was free. It was, okay, can I tell you? So for her birthday, I didn't even get her a real present. What I did was, my buddies are moving out of their apartment in they're moving to the Upper West Side, so they've got less space. So they had a giant purge of everything they own in their apartment.
Right.
I zipped up there in an Uber XL, filled it up with just voluminous, just furniture and desks, Mac screen, a mini bar, just tons of stuff.
Right.
For free. And then zipped it downtown, installed it in her little area that she has at our house, at our apartment.
She sounds a lot like someone being held against her will now.
Rapunzel.
She's got her own area. And what you thought you'd do is you thought, you know what's going to make this easier, because there's a lot of crying, is if I try to make it as much like a college dorm room as possible. With just
absorbent rug for all the tears.
Borrowed stuff,
Yeah. And so I got a bunch of free stuff, and then
don't say that. Well,
and
listen,
then
let's be fair. She's never going to hear this.
Yeah, let's be honest, she doesn't listen. And then got a free trip on the credit card, just on point. They were about to expire, and one of the things was a stay at the Borgata in Atlantic City. And of course, the pictures they used look like Vegas. It looks amazing. It's like the Rat Pack. And then you get there. And
the only thing in common is that there's
rats.
Someone smoking inside.
Literally, that's the only thing. And we thought we'd do it up and I'd get dressed up in a suit. She'd wear a nice dress. And then we arrived. I was like, I think it's a bit of a jeans situation, darling. So I didn't even get into jeans. I was in shorts. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, and I fit right in. The check-in line was about 6 hours long, so I just checked the bags in and went straight to the bar, and we just drank all night. And then eventually, at about 10 p.m., we got to check into our room, and then went down for dinner, because that was the only time we could get a booking at any of the dozen restaurants on the floor.
Wow. It sounds a popular place.
It's popular with the Blue Rinse group.
I was going to say, what's your crowd?
Yeah. Vegas is Blue Man Group. This is Blue Rinse Group. So it's a bunch of old people.
And now, if memory serves me, you got the train from the Port Authority?
Oh, a train? Shut up.
The
We
train,
got
the
a
bus.
fucking Greyhound.
You got the bus from Port Authority.
Yeah.
What percentage of people were sex workers?
Probably, I'd say 50, a good 50%.
50%.
Your instincts are bang on.
Half of the people on the bus.
They all smelled like that Britney Spears perfume.
Right.
You know the one? They all had that same waft of strip club that I've heard. But I must say, there was one guy sitting behind us. We got the last 2 seats together on the bus. One guy sitting behind us decided to pack a grinder. That's a sub. In Jersey, that's like a sub. It's like a sandwich.
Oh, right.
And a grinder is like this giant sandwich full of gravy and onions and meats, various meats. And he just opened it up on the bus.
It makes that app for dudes seem a lot grosser.
It does. Yeah, you're looking for a guy who smells like dead meat.
Yeah.
And it was like a corpse. It smelt like a corpse. And it just wafted through the whole bus.
Great.
And then he used the bathroom.
That's great.
At the back of the bus. A 3-hour trip to Atlantic. So on the way, everyone's full of hope. Way back on Saturday, everyone's just devastated.
So you just went overnight?
Overnight. Can you believe we were going to do 2 nights? It was going to cost $700 to do a second night.
What, $700 a night to stay
isn't
there?
that absurd?
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And I'm not going to... That's insane, even for a birthday. So I decided
Well, I mean,
come
for
back
you,
on Saturday.
spending anything on a birthday would be...
You've sensed a pattern here, Scott.
Quite frankly.
I gambled $20 and I checked out when I'd won $24.50. I explained gambling to Sophie.
All right.
We've digressed enough.
We need to earn you some money.
Yeah,
so
all
let's
right.
sell some
So
cartoons.
let's sell some cartoons. What have you got this week, my friend?
Okay, so I don't know if this one's been done, but a missing person sign, except instead of the image being a person, it's an Apple earpod.
I was just thinking about this today.
Because I saw a guy wearing them the other day and thought that's...
Are you good with small, like, technology, stuff like that?
I've got the Bose Bluetooth ones.
Oh, how are they?
They're good. I like them just because I can run and
But
jump
are they
and-
connected or are they separate? Do
No.
they sit in your ear? Or
Yeah,
do
they sit in my ear,
they're
but there's
connected
a
with wire?
connecting like the...
Right. See, I have those.
Yeah, no, we've got
That's
similar
as small
ones.
as it gets to me. Anything smaller than a pen lid, forget about it.
Yeah.
It's going down the toilet.
No, it's... Yeah.
So I love that because everyone's missing. As soon as I saw it, I think it was like WWDC last year with the ear pods. And I remember thinking, those are going missing. This is the new broken iPhone screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought, just missing
Great, I love
iPod,
that.
and then last scene, we could just have...
That's a no-brainer. I don't even think about how to draw that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I was going to get some, by the way. It actually crossed my mind to get some. I'd had a few, but I did think, you know what? Maybe I'll jump into the... but I have a Google Pixel.
I was going to say, you're not a...
No, but you can use them with a Pixel. They pair.
What an age.
I know, right? What an age. I love that one. That's almost a no-brainer.
I don't mind that one.
That's pretty solid. Off to a cracking
Now,
start.
I thought of something you were saying because you rode the city bike over here sometimes.
I did it today.
You're crazy.
I
It's
know.
so hot.
It's muggy as hell, yeah.
But what I was thinking is, the bike lanes are green and there's a stencil of a bike.
Yes.
What I was thinking is if the bike lane stencil is the stencil of a bike rider shaking his fist at a pedestrian or a tourist. Like, that's
great. That's fantastic because it's very true.
Because you were lamenting kind of people
Ride
just
rage.
waiting for people parking their car. And I was at a bar last night and there was a sticker in the lavatory that said, by the way, the bar was in 1860s England. That's why they had a lavatory and not a toilet.
Yeah, what are you, Sherlock fucking
I
Holmes?
was powdering my nose and
The
noticed
game is on, Ashka. All right.
noticed some propaganda. But it said stop parking in the fucking bike lane. So it was clearly a sticker that disgruntled couriers put on.
Yeah, it could disgruntled couriers or cyclists.
Yeah.
Because both are... Oh, you mean bike couriers?
Bike couriers.
Okay.
Guys that are constantly on it where they're
Because
like, fuck, I gotta make
FedEx
it.
are the worst criminals at this. They are always parking in the bike lane. Giant trucks you
those
can't
big
see
brown
around.
trucks,
yeah.
yeah.
And you can't see around. And so a lot of people are slamming into FedEx trucks in the bike lane. And I got to say, I am one of these people who might slam into them, but I still laugh when I see it because I just love slapstick.
That's terrible.
It's horrible.
I had another one which we were talking the other day about. I think someone had a suggestion of something anonymous. Have we done this? I don't know what you call it, if it's imaginary friend havers anonymous or imaginary friends anonymous.
Yeah.
And it's a circle of people with an empty seat next to them.
That's almost like the RNC convention anonymous.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of Clint Eastwoods.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, God, that's a... Has that been done?
Oh, surely.
It seems pretty well worn.
I don't. Yeah, it's very topical though. I think imaginary friendship group, imaginary friends anonymous, imaginary friend. See, you said the word imaginary friend havers, which I love as a comedy.
It's a comedy
bit,
thing,
but on paper,
it's not believable.
No.
Yeah.
There's something like a very like Drop Dead Fred-esque kind of people just sitting there very quietly, neatly buttoned up. With
an empty seat
next to them, but insisting that it's them. It's not. No, that wasn't me. It was Fred. Yeah. It was my friend Steve here.
There's something in that.
There's something in that. I don't know what it is.
Let's maybe circle back to that.
I like that.
I was walking down the East Village, and you know the place on the corner of B and 3rd, which does the bottomless brunch.
Oh, Poco.
I was thinking, is there something in this, just the A-frame sign, bottomless brunch, endless stomach pumping?
Oh, have I told you this before? So you'll notice there's a little art garden next to that place.
Yeah.
Just further down 3rd Street.
I still live next door to it.
Of course.
That's why I used to live right there, yeah.
So there's basically in East Village, there's a bunch of community gardens on nearly every block. And there's one in particular next to that place, which is this beautiful, lush green garden full of wonderful bronze sculptures and metallic
and
sculptures.
And a motorbike.
And a motorbike. Yeah, there's one of those. But it's all scrap metal sculpture.
Yeah.
And last year, it was summer, first week of summer, and of course, first week of summer, it's like rites of spring. It's like all the brunch people come out, all the chinos, all the trashy short skirts, hanging out in lines waiting for brunch at those 3 places in a row, right? And on the corner. Now, what they do is they serve you a nice mimosa in the line so that even though you're waiting, it's a little less painful.
Pissed. Yeah.
You can start, you give them a credit card and they just start your tab already.
Sure.
So this one lass... a little bit warm, probably hadn't had any food in her stomach yet.
Sure.
Less any water. And had a couple too many mimosas, I think.
Yeah.
And she had passed out.
What time is it?
11:45. It is 11:45 in the morning.
Because they do 2 sittings there.
They do.
Yeah,
they
do an 11:30.
And Sophie and I, this is a time when Sophie and I used to go to the gym together on a Saturday morning.
Right.
And we were walking past in gym gear.
Good.
Watching this girl face first on the pavement, had just collapsed, passed out, drunk, still clutching the flute. Still clutching the champagne flute.
Good.
And 2 of her girlfriends coming over to her, just trying to basically just make sure she doesn't choke on her own tongue.
Whitney.
Yeah.
Well, I told you the time I saw someone... it was between the sittings, and Whitney had done the same thing to herself, and she
Classic Whitney.
was having the stomach pumped,
Yeah.
and people were like complaining. They were like, "Our booking was for 2."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's great.
Anything brunch related, because brunch is new to us culturally.
That's right.
It's not really a big thing in Australia.
No.
And I'm sure it'll catch on.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing, though. See, in Australia, brunch is just between breakfast and lunch. Here, it's an all-day drinking event.
Well, we don't need an excuse to drink all day. Like we don't need.
We're way ahead of you.
Yeah.
In that way,
we don't need to stand on ceremony there. We just.
That's funny.
Yeah.
We do have that. It's culturally ingrained. We don't need the reason.
Oh no! I mean, in my family,
No.
you know, it's a time to open the bar. Well, it's midday at Norfolk Island. Get it going.
It's midday somewhere. See, we had that joke, which was
it's 5 p.m. somewhere.
Yeah, we checked, Thompson. It's 5 o'clock, literally nowhere.
That's right.
Which is still, I maintain, one of my favorite jokes.
That was a good joke.
And I will sell it somewhere one day. But it's one of those things that, like, any brunch jokes, I'm dying to sell a brunch joke. I just want to...
Yeah, we should think about that.
It's innately funny and silly.
Yeah.
However, I don't want to be seen to be making fun of that particular set of people because
I think that
we're a couple of bros, a couple of dudes, a couple of guys, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't call us bros.
Oh, no, I just mean perception-wise. A couple of dudes making fun of the ladies.
Oh, I wouldn't
you know what
say.
I mean? That's a consideration to take into
it. Yeah, it depends on the joke.
Yeah.
What about this? Is there something in this religious kind of person with the pamphlets, like the Jehovah's
Red flag.
Witnesses or whatever,
Yeah.
going up to someone going, with the pamphlet going,
Yeah.
would you like to read what a terrible person you are? It's all they are, those pamphlets. Have you flicked through one of these?
Oh, yes.
We're fucked.
Oh, yeah. Now, where did this come up? I have to ask you. Were you in Union Square?
Where was I? Oh, no, they. Do you know what? They camp up just near my place in Brooklyn.
I'm not going to give away where you live.
Yeah.
You're in Williamsburg,
I'm in Williamsburg,
somewhere.
yeah.
I didn't know there was a particularly religious sect in
They're
Williamsburg.
not really. They just sit like, and I see them when I get the train to work. There's like always someone like there's a question that is meant to be rhetorical, but there's a very easy answer. It's something like
it's always on the front.
It's something like, oh, what's God done for you lately?
Yeah.
And you kind of can just go, nothing. I mean, well, that's where you're wrong. You just got a promotion. Who do you think did that? Like the woman who had the job went on maternity leave.
Yeah,
that's what happened to that.
What did God do?
Yeah,
Okay,
God
I guess,
fucked that woman?
I guess he did. Whoa. Classic Mary on maternity leave.
That's pretty funny.
Read on maternity leave.
Maternity leave Mary. That's really funny. What's the joke there? That's really funny.
Did she even get leave? Because they're
she
like,
get-
come on, Mary, we know you're a virgin.
It's one or the other. Virgin or maternity leave. What do you want?
Yes, it's in. That's great. That's going in the batch. Also, the idea that, so these people who hand out pamphlets, now, they're Jehovah's Witnesses. They are from certain areas of these religious groups. And look, God bless them. But they have a real tenacity about them. Haven't you noticed the energy they have despite all evidence that this isn't going to work?
Oh, you see, you look too friendly.
I am very friendly.
Yeah, you see,
I smile at strangers. Have you done that before?
No, when I'm walking,
you
I'm
have
like
resting dickhead face.
I'm like a.
You're a statue.
I'm like
a sphinx.
I'm like an inflated puffer fish. I'm sending a message. Just don't approach. there's nothing for you here. Keep moving.
Puffer fish.
Yeah, that's what I look like.
That's amazing.
That's what my face is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, so there's something very funny in the handing out the brochures. I especially love would you like to read about what a terrible person you are? Because everything is about redemption.
That's
it's
right.
about be saved.
Precisely.
Everything you're doing is wrong.
Yep,
be saved and forgiven for all the stuff you're doing. And in the back of your brain, as cynical or skeptical as you are, you at least think for 1 second, oh, yeah, I'm the worst. But then you go, wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something. There's an overcorrection. There's an over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, hang on. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah, what have you done?
What did you need forgiveness for, son?
As I have progressed through the world of show business, you find, and
what a journey it is.
Is if everything goes according to plan, you get paid more for things you do the longer you've been doing this.
Sure.
And you get to a point where you find yourself with people who have a lot of money. And they assume that because they've got a lot of money, they're more intelligent now.
That's literally...
Which in my experience is... Never
the case.
Not once.
Never, ever the case.
You're still the same dickhead.
Yes.
You just now drive a Rolls Royce.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And you have a gold microphone.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I'm seeing where you're going with this, Dooley.
Yeah.
So,
Aren't we just the worst species?
We really have devolved. I think after a certain point, we hit peak,
When
and
was
then we
peak?
devolved. I think peak was like 1979.
Oh, right.
Yeah, pre-shoulder pads.
I always
doing
see,
all right.
I always look back and I always think, and I know this is going to sound like an insane thing, but I always think, 1996 was to me,
That was pretty
that was
good.
the future.
Wasn't it?
Like we were that was the time I felt we were living in the future.
Yeah.
And this was before the internet was ubiquitous.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was like Jordan was still playing
Oh,
basketball.
yeah. Nintendo.
Yeah.
Great
Computer games
movies,
were
Blockbuster
good.
Video,
Yeah.
Friday nights with a pizza and go to the video shop.
Celebrities would be in Playboy.
You know what
there'd be.
You know what the difference was? The fracturing of interest. So everyone had to watch the same TV. Everyone had the same channels of information. Like you listened to the radio, but you had your radio station. But there were only
that
four
was
to
your
choose from.
only kind of identity. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you only had... So all the bands were pretty much the same. Like, the genres weren't as splintered. There was no,
Well, I think about my parents. My dad
Yeah.
knows heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps about music.
Of course.
Like he knows, and that's kind of where I get it from.
Yeah, but does it extend to electro swing?
Well, this is the thing. It was just music. There was music and talking, and they were the two options.
Right.
Instead of just being like,
I used to love that though.
new folk and...
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing was I would have the radio shows I listened to for talk and news.
Yeah.
And the stations I would listen to for music, and there was less choice. It was less stress. Now I'm worried I'm missing out on everything.
Yeah.
And I'm out of touch.
Well, I've got a friend that does a radio show in Sydney, and this is how out of touch I am. They had a big thing, and he said, I was talking to him, and he said, we're doing a thing with Ed Sheeran. And I said, I have no idea who you're talking about. And he goes,
Wow.
Really? He's playing like stadiums here.
Yeah, but so
And
is...
I was just like, this is just something that I've never heard of this person.
So are the piano guys. They're playing Carnegie Hall. I'd never heard of them in my life.
I
They're
always
big on
like
YouTube.
I always like it when there's like a Greek pop star that comes and plays some massive like arena.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because
You've
they're
never heard
massive,
of them. Yeah.
but there's enough people that will fill that arena.
Yeah.
That know about it.
Yeah.
And they pre-sell it as well.
Oh, it's done.
Yeah.
You can't get a ticket.
It's pre-sold for months.
For love or money.
Yeah. Now, we didn't talk about this, but the Melania jacket. By the way, that's gold. I'm just going to put that in as
You
it
like
is.
that?
I love
Alright.
that. I love
that's
that.
good.
We talked about the Melania jacket.
I had nothing this
week. No, you've got some good stuff this week. You've been home alone for a week without your fiancée. She's been in France.
That's right.
And you've spent your time very wisely by the sounds of it.
Smoke a lot of weed when she's out of town.
This is the key. Did you watch a lot of Flintstones, by the way?
You know what I did another lap of was The Office.
Yeah, you
American
did.
Office.
Oh, the American Office.
Oh, I just think it's so funny.
Third person this week to tell me they got back into the American Office.
Oh, it's very... But Steve Carell is just... He's masterful.
Really?
Oh, I can't speak highly.
I'm a diehard Ricky guy.
No,
so.
see, me too. Okay. And
all right.
it took me a long time.
Right.
It's very, very funny.
That's good.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Excellently written.
It's taken 3 people to say that exact thing to me.
Yeah. No, it's certainly worth it.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe. And by the way, any Action Bronson sightings this week? I know it's a little difficult
I went to a party at Vice for Munchies.
Did you see
him?
him?
I kept looking. No, he wasn't there.
He's harder to spot now because he shaved off his beard.
I know, yeah. You sent a picture of him to me.
I didn't send you a picture. A listener, thank you, whoever that listener was, sent me a picture saying, just thought Scott should know.
That's right. Action Bronson shaved his beard. It was his
It was a little, just a heads up, Scotty boy.
That was on Instagram. That's right.
So thank you, whomever that was. That's great.
What have you got? Wait, before you get into yours, I've got one more for you.
Okay, great.
This is real. This is very close to SS.
Okay.
The Middle Ages
Yeah.
is the top.
Yeah.
And it's just people doing middle-aged things, like looking at real estate windows and like buying I don't know. I just
Leaving their wife, buying a convertible.
Yeah.
Getting a fedora.
Yeah. But
Okay.
instead of the rolling village with the kind of the castle on the hill and the stuff like that, all of that is replaced with a different kind of middle-aged trope.
Is it in like a natural history museum style thing where you've got the
That's a
caveman?
nice idea,
Yeah, and then you've got the Middle Ages.
And it's a guy on a couch.
Because you've got the Bronze Age, you've got the Stone Age, you've got all that
A
stuff.
guy on a couch with a Nirvana t-shirt on or something.
See, because I think it needs the contrast between, just to set it up, and I know why you think it's SS because there's labels, but there is something in having these installations. Maybe it's a tour group coming through a musume. You know,
And here
and
are the
woman-
Middle
and here-
Ages.
and here we have the Middle Ages.
You can see him leaving his wife for his secretary.
Something very middle aged.
Yeah.
Like, did you see This Is 40, that Judd Apatow film?
No.
It was just all those crammed into one film, basically.
Right.
But yeah, I like that. Something where it's set where it's in between, it's bookended between like the
Bronze.
the
Yeah,
Bronze
whatever it
Age,
is, yeah.
and then the Middle Ages, and then
The
what was after-
Romantic
the Romantic
period,
era
I
or something
think
like
so,
that,
yeah.
or. Yeah, I'll have to Google that. I'm afraid I don't have the education in history to pull that
It's
one
all right,
off.
you're
Off
from Perth. No one's expecting you to. No.
Thank you.
We didn't have any.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
I've got some exciting news, but I'll save it for the end of the pod. So you're going to have to keep listening, sucked in. Anyway.
That was kind of just for me. Let's be honest. I've said my thing. I have a habit of tuning out.
So, can let it be known that, by the way, I came up with these ones while sitting in a cafe in Brooklyn, and 4 mothers sat down next to me.
LA.
With screaming newborns.
Oh, good.
And a couple of toddlers saying, use your words. You know,
Good.
So
good.
I was a little distracted. But there was something about this week, obviously heinous leader of the free world was separating children from their parents at the border because, of course, and all the Republicans just fell into line. I did hear a good joke that was, this isn't mine, I think it might have been Bill Maher or someone of that ilk, saying, the Republicans, they believe that life starts at conception and ends at the Rio Grande.
That's a good joke.
That's pretty solid.
That's a nice joke.
But yeah,
That's
just
very funny.
and also, in line with everything he's done thus far, he's so repugnant. And then he did an executive order to undo his own policy. His policy of separating parents from their children as a deterrent.
Yeah.
And then wanted to be the hero for undoing his own policy.
I saw someone write, like, you don't congratulate the kidnapper for releasing the hostages.
That's such a good...
Yeah, it's a nice analogy, right?
Yeah. Oh, celebrate me for... there's been a lot of them on Twitter, but it's tough to ignore them because they're so apt. But like the kid who rescued the kid from the pool after he pushed him in. Yeah. Like, how great am I? Wait, you pushed... I did it. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's a level of Jekyll and Hyde that I can't quite
I was
reconcile.
talking to someone who's like, the Bush White House wasn't great.
Yeah.
W. Bush.
Yeah.
Because I can't really speak to HW. Like I was too young.
Okay.
But George W. Bush wasn't a good White House.
Yep.
But, and this is an indictment on this one, where you're like, yeah, but at least those guys were just trying to get rich.
That's
like they
true.
were doing.
That's true.
Whereas this is getting to like
this is beyond.
Egyptian pharaoh level kind of.
And who?
I want to be remembered.
But the Democrats don't have a Moses. I wish there was a Moses moment.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean? Coming up to and going, all right, if you don't let my people go, there's going to be ramifications.
I did see a thing on, I don't know if we talked about this last week, but I saw someone had written like, a Democratic presidential candidate could run on this slogan and win, which is...
what was the slogan?
I promise you'll go days forgetting I exist.
Oh. That's
like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Dude, that's all I want. I've literally had to start going to sleep with my phone in another room.
Oh, I do that. You should do that anyway.
I mean, I started doing it a while ago, and then it slipped back into my old habits of putting it next to the bed.
Man, no screens.
Yeah. So now I have it in another room. It's off. And I can't tell you just that sliver of nice, when you wake up, not having to see the New York Times headline.
The news alert.
As the first, the news alert, the first thing that he's done, that you just go, your day starts with bad news. The rest of the day goes from there.
Yeah.
I like that that's not the first thing. A coffee first and then bad news, right? Or something.
That's my tough Saturday or Sunday. Is waking up and the first thing I look at is whether or not Collingwood won. This could really make it a tough day for Ashika.
One day you and I.
But the prize are all right now. We're top 4.
Are they really?
Oh mate,
top 4.
Oh, I'm looking.
Look at you.
I'm quietly keeping an eye on.
This is your World
for
Cup.
September. Oh yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm not on top of it. One day you and I are going to talk about the 5-year relationship I had with a woman whose entire family were die-hard Pies fans.
Good on them.
In the 05-06 kind of, at that time.
So around then, so that was...
Buckley...
When did you start... We
started going into 02.
Oh, okay. So that was the end of the Buckley... So that was... We'd played in the grand final.
That's right.
And then there was a bit of a rebuild.
That's
but
right.
Buckley did his hammy.
He did.
But
there was Leon Davis, the little Leon. There was Leon. Just the whole team just all got...
Little Didac starting up.
Didac,
Pendles.
She had a bit of a crush on Didac. Yeah, Dids. Little Dids.
Yeah. Where's your... He had a haircut which had a rat's tail. And when we were in the grand final, I got one. Like, it's a bit of a joke.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. And there was a... Do you remember the song Where's Your Head At by Basement Jack?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, people would be going, Where's your Didac?
Oh, that's awful. I love it and hate it in equal measure.
Okay.
Sorry, we keep getting distracted. All right. It's just Trump saying, yeah, I'm just like Robin Hood. Except I rob from the poor and I give no fucks. You can't put that in the New Yorker.
I give
I give to myself. I'm just like, so there's a new Robin Hood coming out, by the way. I don't know if
I didn't know that.
Okay, so I should preface it with, yes, there's a new Robin Hood. It's the guy from Kingsman. He's the Robin Hood. It's a whole new thing. It's getting they've just poured a lot of money into it, basically, because there hasn't been a Robin Hood for 10 years. The idea that he considers himself a hero after, when he turned over his own thing with an executive order, he considered himself quite the hero and the champion of the people. They're like,
That is
thank
funny.
God, Robin Hood. He saved us from just any fractured... I haven't done a fractured fairy tale cartoon, and I do like the idea
It is
of...
a nice one.
Yeah, of Robin Hood particularly, because that's such an interesting... I like any middle-aged cartoon where I had one of and I came to it through the idea of Melania in a tower as Rapunzel, because of course after the jacket thing I was like, this is the first time I've seen her out on her own for a while. She got on the plane by herself.
Do you want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Okay, go on.
Are you
Here
ready?
we go. Here's the segment, guys, by the way, that Twitter is going to just light up about. Okay.
She's dead.
God, the kidney surgery again?
She died.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but
Body
they
double?
can't- body double. And what's the best way to distract? What they're wearing.
The jacket.
Right?
Well, you're
It's
not
all
looking at her.
You're not looking at her. It's all from behind, hair down.
Scott, it's not the worst theory you've ever had, apart from the fact that Action Bronson is stalking you. But it's not a great theory. I'll tell you why. Because
we then saw her.
We then saw her come out and have to say, no, that was... And then we saw her at the camp. There was a lot of photo opportunities at the camp. She took off the big sunglasses for the first time and wanted to show that she was a human.
Squinted her way through the whole
Squinted her, obviously, as she does. Winced her way through, I think we'd say. Grimaced her way through. And, And so, it was one of those things that we had evidence that she's still alive. Although I'll pay your skepticism.
halfway.
She could be an android. It could be Westworld. Finale. Anyway, that's not.
We
gonna
just
do it.
we've got one to go before the finale.
Yeah. I'm one episode back.
We watched
as well.
we just watched the Ghost World.
Yeah.
Oh, what a story! I
Can
cried.
I'm having
That was a
genuine emotional
beautiful
reactions to
episode.
this show.
Yeah, beautiful episode.
If anyone's listening to Westworld, watching Westworld and listening to this, we could do our own podcast on it. But anyway, I've got Melania in the tower as Rapunzel,
sure.
and the prince at the bottom. Rapunzel. Let down your constituents.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Or
I
even
don't mind that.
citizens
I
or
don't
subjects.
mind that at all.
Let down your subject. Because she's such a fucking letdown.
Well,
She
I
could
mean-
be the one that changes everything. And they said that it was her and Ivanka. No, and who's the daughter again? Ivanka, who convinced Trump to turn over his policy with his, presidential veto.
Who fucking cares?
But who doesn't matter?
Why are they in his ear?
Why? Yeah. Why is this even? Why are we celebrating
Listen,
that?
I'll put it to you this way.
Yeah.
If there is something wrong
such a
with my
letdown.
toilet and
Yeah.
I need a plumber,
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel comfortable if he's calling his wife and daughter to get some advice before he
Yeah.
fucking installs something.
Yeah,
I'm
we
going
elect-
to a different plumber.
we elected the
Mate,
plumber.
Mate, I want the plumber.
Yeah.
What's your wife do? Oh, she used to be a model. What the fuck does she know about plumbing?
Precisely. That's a
What
pretty...
about your daughter? Well, I mean, she's never had a job in her entire life.
No.
Ever.
Solid analogy too, may I say. Yeah, something like that. So with the Melania, I just love I'm desperate. I'm jonesing for a fractured fairy tale cartoon. There's Melania, let down your constituents.
I do like that. The
Yeah.
only issue I have with it is, does
Yeah.
she have constituents?
Well, that's the thing. As a
and
first
Trump's
lady,
the one with the hair.
he is, but she's the one that seems to be trapped in a tower. You know what I mean? She's the one who seems to be held captive.
Well, I did see someone put a thing up during the week, which was,
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that the woman who married Donald Trump, knowing exactly who Donald Trump was, maybe isn't the nicest person in the world. And I think it's a pretty reasonable... I don't know why we've all of a sudden removed her from the whole
decision she made.
thing. Yeah.
I don't think he put on a nice guy act to get her and then turned into a piece of dog shit.
I think he did.
No.
And I'm sure it failed spectacularly, but I'm sure in his head...
Yeah, he
was
probably
like,
tried,
I'm
but-
wooing her.
Yeah, but it never would have... Clearly, it would have been abundantly apparent when she signed on to this. Also...
You know that the first time they had sex,
yeah.
it started not with a kiss, but with her sighing. Her going,
All right, let's do it.
all right then.
Also, the idea of...
On your hop.
If we're going with fractured fairy tales, Geppetto, the guy who made Pinocchio...
Yes, yeah.
Him going, oh, God, I'll never forgive myself. The prototype. I never built in the nose thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're lying at, the beta model, the prototype model. It's running the country now. I had to build in the nose as a failsafe. You know what I mean? Like because look at him. He's an odd color.
Yeah.
He looks like he was carved out of an odd bit of wood. Just a fucking tree stump.
The fairy tale thing is, yeah.
I really want, because the great thing about cartoons that use fractured fairy tales or any of these like old tropes is that half the work's done for you because people know the story, so they can figure out the rest as it applies to the current situation. Because he can't stop lying, he can't help himself. But were he Pinocchio, I mean, the nose would be, it's impossible to say. And who's his mother-in-law, by the way? Have we heard from her? Does Melania even have a mother? He doesn't have a mother-in-law.
Does Melania have a mother?
No, I just mean, sorry, I don't mean she's been created out of mud. I just mean there's no everybody loves Raymond moment for the Trump. For him, he doesn't have a mother-in-law where is she? Where's she in all this?
Look, I'm not sure.
See, I don't know that he's an actual human, nor her.
Well,
I'm at this point.
They exist.
But
Yeah.
do they though, Scott? Are you Wikipediaing?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. Yeah.
All right.
They exist.
I've got another one. Okay. Foot of a mountain. Mountain climbers. Kind of millennial-ish. Just going, listen, look, is there a way to get the selfie without having to do the climb?
Oh, that's good.
Because I
like that.
Everyone just wants the photo.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's like the marathon. Can you just take a photo of me running through the finish line without ever having to train for the marathon? Just, is there a way to get the photo?
Is there a way to get the photo?
For Insta without having to get to base camp? Because I love the mountain climber trope as well.
The mountain climber is always funny.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah. Because at this generation would never commit outside of it being part of their Fitstagram.
What if it's someone saying to the Sherpa,
yeah,
and you promise this is the best Instagram picture? It's I need certain assurances.
What if there's a lineup of Sherpas?
Before we do this.
Oh, he's going to go best for my Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, that's
something
good.
like that. Which one's going to be best for your Insta? Maybe that's it. Maybe when you're planning out the whole thing, you've got your what's that sports brand like North Face kind of and then you've got
Patagonia.
Yeah. You pick out all the Patagonia stuff, and then you pick out who's gonna go best with my Insta story? Okay, you've got the same aesthetic.
Who takes a better photo?
Are you married to the beard?
Yeah.
Are you know what I mean? Like, who takes the better photo?
Who takes the better
photo? That's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
Now, how are you with an iPhone?
Yeah,
how are you taking iPhone photos? Can I see your camera roll?
Yeah.
Let's get a look at all of your camera rolls. Take them out. Now, my favourite segment of all, as always, is
the listeners.
Your listener suggestions. And listen, we did get some suggestions. The suggestions we got this week were actually from repeat suggestors, and I don't want to encourage repeat suggestors from previous pods right on the back. So what I thought I would do is I went up to Yonkers and I taught all these little 5th graders.
Oh, right.
And 6th graders. Yonkers is quite a way away. Anyone who doesn't know,
is.
Yonkers is all the way up the top, above Manhattan, above the Bronx.
It's also a great video by Tyler, the Creator, the track Yonkers. It's really good. He's got a bug. It's weird.
Yonkers.
Yeah, it's called Yonkers. Yeah.
So the kids at Martin Luther King Jr. Academy, which is a school, and great kids. I explained what a New Yorker cartoon was, first and foremost. Encouraged them to, and I quote, write what you know.
Right.
So find something you really are passionate about.
Well, you said a lot of pizza jokes.
Lots of pizza. I cut them out for time.
Right.
But there were tons of pizza. Can we do food? Yes. Pizza? Absolutely.
Yeah,
everyone did pizza.
Great.
But then I said, you've got to draw the picture and the caption goes underneath. The joke, whatever's happening goes underneath, okay?
Did you show them the things that we do?
I did. I
unimpressed?
Showed them completely baffled. In fact, I redrew Awoken Lust Creations, Luke Watson. I redrew the horse on a horse cartoon. I thought that would transmit pretty well.
Yeah.
Going, I totally get it now. Nobody got it now. No, everyone went, what does that mean? And I was like, horses probably see other people on horses.
Given their reaction, they could legitimately be the editors of the New Yorker magazine. That was their reaction.
They could be the next cartoon editor of the New Yorker.
All right, so what do we got?
It's a toilet bowl with eyes, apparently.
Yeah.
There seems to be some kind of peanut on the edge of the toilet bowl.
I thought it was a bow.
Could be a bow. Could be a peanut. There's a cat in the bowl.
Yeah.
There's a plus sign
Yeah.
and a fish.
Yeah.
I had some catfish today.
Oh, and that's
So someone's shit out a cat and a fish. That's the joke. That's the joke.
I hate this.
This is amazing. Okay. Here's one. It's Superman.
Yeah.
He's very happy. And the
What's the
caption
caption?
is, I am super happy.
I love that.
Isn't that fun? These are 5th graders.
Oh, wait.
Sorry,
So
go on.
if we were to change
Yeah.
that,
No, I'll submit as is.
like, super...
Is it a Valium thing?
I'm super happy.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea of me being bat happy. Or like, you know...
Bat
like,
happy,
yeah.
batshit crazy, like a bat out of hell, bat...
Yeah, maybe.
I
I don't know. Maybe we just leave that.
happy.
That's funny. I think that's really funny.
I think it's solid.
I'm super happy.
Now, we've got a very, very depressing one. It's a girl in the rain next
Right.
to a tree with a hole in it.
Great.
She's
with a little
saturated.
nook. Yeah,
Little
yeah,
nook.
yeah.
The caption is, what a great life I have.
That's not bad.
I mean,
I actually quite like that.
call the nurse's office, first of all.
It's a bit Kathy.
Get this kid. It is very Kathy. It's
a bit
if it isn't Kathy, we've got a bit SS and a bit ack. If it isn't Kathy, it's a bit Roz Chasty. It's a bit depressing.
I don't want
There's
to
lots of
I don't want to
lines.
Roz chastise her about the depressing angle, but I like it.
Here's my favorite one. Well, okay, here's my second favorite one.
Right.
It's a
2 stick figures.
2 stick figures.
One is incredibly happy.
Yep.
The other one is
Very upset.
very upset. And
The happy one.
The happy one appears to be throwing something circular.
Squeezing something
Squeezing
circular.
something in. Oh, so the first one, the eye,
Yeah.
something is being squeezed into the person's eye. I see.
Yeah.
What's the caption?
And the squirt is coming out of the round
out
thing.
of the round thing. And underneath it says, when life gives you lemons, use them. That's amazing.
That's incredible.
That is legitimately funny.
Yeah, that's really funny. That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
There's
that's
nothing
so
about that
funny.
isn't funny.
That is
Especially that it's stick figures too.
great.
It's like, whoever drew that one, I love you. It's very good. Here's one for you, Scott. It's a cat in a hair salon getting his hair washed, saying, I feel purty.
Get
You're welcome.
that garbage out of my face.
Next one's a couple of hot dogs eating a hot dog saying, this is so delicious.
And one looks angry and the other one looks happy.
Really happy. I love kids. There's no filter. They're
That's
not worried. This is my favorite one. It's just a kid holding it up. Look at the kid's face holding it
The
up.
kid is holding it up, and what is it?
It is a dinosaur looking at a bat that is sleeping, and the caption is,
I'm so confused.
thank you very much.
Oh wow,
I think
that
you'll
is
find
actually very good.
I'm a very good teacher, I think you'll find. Is there something in that?
The winner is the.
I mean, yeah, the winner has to be this one, which is
when life gives you lemons, use them.
Use them
Wow,
as a weapon.
That's so funny. So funny.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to the kids
At Martin Luther King Jr. Academy in Yonkers for
That's
the
great.
suggestions this week, and we'll be back with regular suggestions next time.
Are we going to do a mini pod next week?
Yeah,
Just
maybe.
suggestions.
Why don't we do that? That sounds fun. I mean, we're both in town. Why not?
Are we both in town?
Yeah,
I'm
we're
in
both
town.
in town. We're both in town.
No, I got nothing on.
Yeah. Oh, this Tuesday, however, I've been invited by the cartoon editor of The New Yorker,
Sure.
along with a handful of other New Yorker cartoonists, to go and have lunch with an Academy Award winning Hollywood director.
Rob Schneider.
Let's leave it there. That's all I can say. That's the show. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week. See ya!